Billy, are you allowing Chris Whittingham on the Tua bandwagon?
No, get out of here.
Attaboy.
No. We went over this like 3 months ago. No.
Yeah.
He has the highest third down passer rating in the league. So they've got something that I've wanted since Marino, which is when they're in third and long, they're the best in the league. They're terrifying on offense. Their receivers are not only looking like the best duo statistically through half a season you'll ever see. Tyreek Hill is going to break Calvin Johnson's record for receiving yards if he continues on this pace. He's got 460-yard games, and the rest of the league have 5 total. Everybody else in the league, you've seen how great A.J. Brown is and a bunch of other people. Hell, DeAndre Hopkins had 150-something yards yesterday. But he's got 460-yard games, and the rest of the league's got 5.
I would say combination of quarterback and wide receivers that the Dolphins have the best in the league. Like, you might say Jalen Hurts and the Eagles wide receivers. I would say no.
The Bengals, too, but the third receiver, Stugotz, it is a fairly amazing stat that between Gesicki, they've got a couple of guys who've got 100 yards receiving. They've got everyone else is under 100 yards receiving. And then they've got those 2 guys who are going crazy on everybody, even though they're the threats. Like, everyone knows they're the threats, and they can't stop the threats.
You sound mad about this. This is a good day, Dan. Like, what's going on? Why are you upset about the Dolphins' success?
I mean, since Marino, that's a long wait.
Yeah.
It's resentment pouring out because of how much bad football we've had to watch, and now their quarterback.
Well, enjoy the good times.
No,
Yes.
this is resentment pouring out of Woody for being wrong about Tua and everybody else. Big L's last weekend, by the way. Everyone was like, oh, Justin Herbert, versus Tua. And everybody was rushing to, you sound so crazy, Emmanuel Acho, saying that Tua is good. This is why you're wrong. Blah, blah, blah. And then, boom, in your face, Tua again.
In your face, Justin Herbert on a bye.
Witty's not even giving Tua credit. You're hedging. You're like, he needs the perfect setup.
They do have the perfect setup. I don't think you can criticize the fact that Mike McDaniel's passing offense has guys wide open. I heard a stat that Tyreek Hill had on average 3.5 yards on separation on his catches.
They've got 4 guys yesterday who had. Now this is Detroit's terrible at defense,
Right.
but they had 4 guys who had an average separation of 3 yards.
It was crazy, and so their offense is perfectly set up for Tua to fully maximize his skill set. Which, by the way,
Will you shut up and say he's good?
I know.
Just say
he's been good this season.
Oh, see, you didn't say it.
Isn't that
You
a
hear the
coach's
difference?
job to tailor the offense to the quarterback's strengths? I mean,
But
Look what Aaron Rodgers is like without talent.
Wow.
yeah.
yeah,
Better than Rodgers, better than Brady.
I will give you better than Matthew Stafford this season.
Amazing.
Better than a lot of quarterbacks. But yeah, the
All
surrounding
of them.
talent really matters. Jalen Waddle was a hit of a first-round pick. They did really well there. Tyreek Hill was an unbelievable trade. Like, that's as good as a trade can go when you're giving up that much draft capital and you're bringing in a player that maybe didn't live independent of an extraordinary quarterback. He obviously does. So they have done everything that you'd want to do to surround a good young quarterback with talent and put him in a position to succeed. They haven't really gotten him killed this year from an offensive line standpoint. Everything's been great.
They almost did actually get
Yeah,
him
twice,
killed.
like literally.
yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
a
They almost got him.
scandal.
Yeah.
Everyone
Did you
was
miss
talking
that?
about
Or
it.
imagine what his numbers would have been if he wouldn't have missed those 2.5
He's got
games.
as
memory.
many touchdown passes as Herbert, even though he's played 3 fewer games.
Right.
He's only
Yeah.
been sacked 8 times this year.
I
guess,
mean, he almost charged the Dolphins with murder.
well,
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Yeah.
Lots of arrests
How
for
quickly
life.
we forget.
Yeah, in prison.
Yeah. Mhm.
Maybe capital punishment because it's Florida.
Yeah.
They are
weak.
11-1 in the last few games that he starts and finishes, except for that one where they almost got him killed. That one is taken out of the equation.
But it seems like it's still not good enough for you guys, which is the craziest part. Like, you seem to still just be like, but
What do you
you're
want-
just waiting for something.
So you want me to say that Tua's going to be the Dolphins franchise quarterback for the next
Yes.
15
Yeah, I mean,
years
yesterday-
and lead them to a Super Bowl victory?
Dan
And
Marino.
you can't
well,
say that about Lamar Jackson. Like, he could get hurt. I'm just saying, you're
Yeah.
like, obviously injuries could happen. But
No, and so injury permitting, that you guys think Tua is this guy.
Yeah, Dan Marino hugged him yesterday.
You would hug him after throwing for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Is that the first time that a Dolphins quarterback has ever done that?
Why do you think Tua can't win a Super Bowl? Like, what are you doing there? Worst quarterbacks have won Super Bowls.
No, of course he can win a Super Bowl. What I'm saying is this generational quarterback that is going to save the Dolphins franchise from the mire that they've been in. The heir apparent to Dan Marino, one of the very best guys in the league.
Dan Marino didn't do shit, okay? Like, enough with Dan Marino. How many rings does he have? 0.
He's got a statue in front of the stadium.
Please.
Debatable.
It's not debatable.
Well, no, that
He's
is
got a
fair,
statue
yeah.
in front of the stadium.
Debatable as to whether or not the statue should be in front of that stadium.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
Wait,
debatable.
Put it on
we're
the poll,
rewriting
please.
history on Dan Marino. What are we doing?
Well, I mean, Billy and Stugotz are being Billy and Stugotz, but go
Well,
ahead
what do
and
you
put
mean?
it on the...
Wait, hold on. Didn't some plain Jane quarterback the other day pass Dan Marino like Matt Ryan or
Matt
something?
Ryan.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's easier to
please.
pass now. It's like Dan Marino was levels above every quarterback that played in his era.
This isn't me being maximum Stugotz. I've questioned Joe Namath and his greatness as a Jet fan.
Okay,
I don't
but
think he's
there-
very good.
Yeah, but Joe
There's a
Namath isn't very
statistical-
good.
Everyone does that. That's not a you thing.
He has
doing
more
Marino,
interceptions
Montana
than
right now?
touchdowns.
It should be Montana Tua at this point,
I think it's
honestly.
Marino Namath a little bit. Yeah.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Should it be Montana or Tua? He does have the stats over 5 games that are the kind of offense the Dolphins have not had since Marino. Billy, I will not allow you to be so disrespectful and forgetful that you say, what has Marino ever
Forgetful.
done?
He did it when I was like 3 years old. Like, it's not a forgetting thing. It's like an I wasn't alive thing.
They should have put up a Tua statue instead of a
That's
Marino
exactly
statue.
right.
Right.
She's right about that.
Yeah.
Would you put the lay on Tua or not in the
You would
statue?
have
You
been
have
like
to go
14,
lay.
so
They beat the Lions yesterday.
Lay or nay?
Wow.
They're
Good one.
game.
They're 5-3.
He threw like 100 interceptable passes last Sunday.
Oh my God. Here we
Jesus.
go with this
Right.
shit again.
Yeah.
Do you like happiness
I know,
in your
like-
life? Like, are you someone that enjoys happiness or you just like complaining
you
about
kidding?
everything?
Have you ever seen him drink tea? Of course he likes happiness.
He's pro DJ Moore and anti Tua. It's weird.
He is not anti-Tua.
Yes, he is. Stop defending
Seems
him.
like
He's
he is.
anti-Tua.
Yeah.
Enough. He's had a chance to get on all season, and he waits for this game of all games to say that Tua did okay, then to just shit on Tua's performance and say that it was against a terrible team.
No, I'm not.
It was against a terrible team.
It was
Really
against a
bad
terrible
team.
team.
Yeah.
He was amazing yesterday. He's had some really amazing games this season. That fourth quarter against Baltimore was incredible. They beat the Buffalo Bills. I watched them in the first quarter last night, and I'm just thinking to myself, how the hell did the Dolphins do that? So he
Different
has,
defense on the road.
Seems like the defense had a bye week this week, right? Like they said, you know what, let's just take this one a little bit easy because they held up the Dolphins in that Bills game, obviously. But yesterday, I could have scored from
They
home.
shut him out in the second half, though. The first half was terrible.
But let's be honest, the Sun beat the Buffalo Bills. I'd like to see that on a neutral field.